Hello and welcome to the tutorial on the use of digital technology for feedback and planning for assessment. My name is Paula and I will be sharing some insight into how to use digital resources to aid with assessment, with a particular focus on feedback and planning under the European Framework for Digital Competencies for Educators. As you can see from this image, which explains the framework, there are 4 different areas of competencies. This tutorial will be specifically focused on Area 4, Assessment, Feedback and Planning. The Feedback and Planning area has 3 aims. Firstly, this competency is about how teachers and educators can use digital technologies to provide targeted and timely feedback to learners. Secondly, as an educator, it is essential to be able to adapt teaching strategies and to provide targeted support based on the evidence generated by the digital technologies used. Thirdly, to enable learners and parents to understand the evidence provided by digital technologies and use it for decision making. What kind of digital activities can we use? Here are some examples. To use digital technology to grade and give feedback on electronically submitted assignments. For example, for formative assessments, writing comments directly onto documents submitted electronically through Microsoft Word or Google Docs. These are then shared back to the student to allow for improvements in their work. To use assessment management systems to enhance the effectiveness of feedback provision. For example, monitoring the quality of work submitted following feedback via grading tools and comments. Feedback can be personalised to each student and related to grading criteria using grading forms or sheets. To use digital technologies to monitor learner progress and provide support where needed. Digital-based assignments can be timed to evaluate response times to an assignment or activity by individual learners. Recording learner progress by activity bars or frameworks is a really useful tool provided by most learning management systems. Setting upload deadlines for tasks, activities and assessments with automated reminders help learners to keep track of their workload. Activity 4. To adapt teaching and assessment practices based on the data generated by digital technologies used. As an educator, it is important to reflect on teaching practices, and using online data to capture trends in results can be helpful to identify where extra learning is required. Using online quiz results for formative assessments will identify gaps in knowledge and will help to plan and prepare for lessons. Activity 5. To provide personal feedback and offer differentiated support to learners based on the data generated by the digital technologies used. Online chat is a useful tool to respond directly to questions from the learner about their assessment feedback. This can be used to clarify areas of uncertainty or improvements required. Using marking and grading frameworks allows specific gaps in knowledge to be identified and allows for in-depth differentiated feedback. Activity 6. To enable learners to evaluate and interpret the results of formative and summative and self and peer assessments. Using digital tools to produce summary evaluations of a learner progress allows the learner to reflect on their progress made throughout the learning journey. Activity 7. To assist learners in identifying areas for improvement and jointly develop learning plans to address these areas. Using evidence-based feedback allows the learner to take responsibility for their own learning and personal development. Activity 8. To use digital technologies to enable learners and/or parents to remain updated on progress and make informed choices on future learning priorities, optional subjects or future studies. Easy to access results, which can be shared with the learner and/or the parent, carers or guardians, means that there are no surprises when it comes to the final summative assessment grades. Easy communication channels via chat or email will also allow for information to be shared to all parties involved in the learner's education programme. Using a learning management system which has a clear and transparent evidence trail, which includes formative grades, assessment comments, ensures that all involved are informed of progress made each step of the way. Differentiated feedback and support, which can be viewed as an ongoing process, can also help learners make informed decisions about their future learning programme or their direction. Summary. Using digital tools such as Learner Analytics can be really beneficial and time-saving in supporting learners and teachers, as well as informing the wider support network. There are many free learning management systems to create assessment tasks with feedback solutions, for example Moodle and Google Classroom. Bespoke planning for teaching and learning activities can be identified as a result of easy-to-view results of summative and formative assessments when managed with digital tools. Thanks for watching the tutorial on feedback and planning.